We have 60 Faith Occupy leaders that are going to meet in the East Bay, in Berkeley, and in Oakland to discuss what we've been doing and plan a collective national action as we move forward in growing the Occupy movement.
We're going to have faith leaders coming from New York, Philadelphia, D.C., Boston, Atlanta, Florida, all up and down the eastern seaboard. We have some people coming from Chicago, and then really from Seattle all the way down the west coast to San Diego. So it's going to be really exciting, and a lot of different voices: Muslims, Christians, Jews, Buddhists, pagans, atheists, agnostics, Unitarian Universalists. That's my tradition. It's going to be really amazing. We're not getting mainstream media coverage, but I think there's a lot of alternative bloggers and alternative news sources that are still covering the movement. So, I think we're kind of evolving a new media network at some level that's been going on for the last 10 years or so. So I think, that's at play. I think our message, the Occupy message, is one that mainstream media is still really trying to understand how to present. They, I think had a real complicated relationship with what was going on in the fall. They were really attracted to 15-foot-high flames in any instance that something like that was going on. But the real meat, the message, the real meaning behind this was something that isn't really easily summed up in a 30-second soundbite. So I think that, that's something that we've really seen as a challenge in the movement. There is a lot going on, but it's not sexy right now. It's not people out in the streets. There's not people getting arrested in the same numbers, although there are people still using civil disobedience as a tool. Well, I think in the spring you're going to see a real focus coming around the corporate personhood issue. It will not be the sole focus. I think there's still a lot to be said about what's happened with the foreclosure crisis, and there's other issues that we're going to be working on too. But I think you'll really see that focus that people have been looking for really coming to the forefront around that issue, a move to amend, and I think there's going to be a lot of activity around that, especially with what will be happening, with both the Democratic and Republican parties getting ready for a national election.
I think there are a lot of things faith leaders can do to support the Occupy movement beyond what we've been doing, which is to be down there a lot and be involved with it. I think that they need to, if they don't understand the movement very well, there are plenty of good online resources, and I think they need to do study groups in their churches and help people discuss the values and issues behind the movement itself, whether or not they actually want to jump onto the movement. I think the core moral issues around injustice and inequality are things that every faith leader should be discussing with their congregations.